The Churchill Downs Saturday $100 budget edition of the Notorious OTB on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Just play $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And, folks, as always,
it's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse magazine. I got my
Cuban B.
And I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oaklawn.
I'd rather be trapped than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what pays me.
It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves get good. If you were
Welcome to the show. Joining him as always, you might know him as the Michelangelo of the crying Michael Jordan. He's your favorite capper's favorite capper. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry the Sniper Spears.
Hey, don't rub on that. You block that. You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rub on. Put the club soda on there.
You understand? You don't rub on that.
Yeah. Barry,
Come on, Louie. Block that shit.
To make. I got a confession, which is we do still occasionally read Blood Horse magazine. Speaking of Blood Horse magazine, we've got our man from Blood Horse Monday as well as ESPN Louisville, Louie Rabaut, joining the show. What's up, Louie?
Very little. Blood Horse magazine, available at bloodhorse.com. Check the magazine tab at the top of the homepage. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify. All right, wrong show. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, no, I'm all right, man. I'm doing all right. The Blood Horse stuff is fun, though. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's good.
Yeah. You were, before we jumped on, you were talking about how glad you are that you get to go to a horse track that's not more than an hour away. So you're pumped about this meet.
I just last week drove to Franklin, Kentucky, Shelbyville, Indiana, and Lexington for horse-related things, and nothing in Louisville. Nice to have Churchill back for sure.
It's quite a triangle right there.
It's quite the triangle for sure. Three different places more different places I cannot think of than Horseshoe, Indianapolis, Kentucky Downs, and Keeneland. So yes, they are.
Is that an isosceles? What kind of triangle are we dealing with?
That one would be.
It's kind of a loop-de-loop.
That's a
like a.
That's an isosceles triangle. That's a good job by Chase, actually. Yeah, I was trying to make it right. I was trying to make it a right triangle. It ain't that. If it were Churchill Turfway into Horseshoe, you could have a right triangle. That's
okay. Okay, well, guys, we've talked about what we're going to be talking about today, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in plain English. It's Thursday. It's the big show, and as is tradition, we've picked the very best Saturday card to give you our very best bets with a $100 budget. And today we selected, as we were saying, the Churchill Downs opening Saturday, the fall meet card. We've dug through this thing from the rooter to the tutor to find our very best plays. We're talking Churchill Downs Saturday, the 13th of September, year of our Lord 2025. Post time for this card is going to be 12:45 p.m. Eastern, 11:45 a.m. God's time, 9:45 a.m. Pacific time. And on the Pacific Coast, and we can play any race, use any wager type, whatever makes that cash money, and as long as you bet your $100. Louie, real quick, you got any just overall thoughts on this card?
Overall thoughts on the card. I think the stake sequence is very fun, and I think if you wanted to have weird opinions, Saturday's the day. Those 2-year-old races, we always think, Caport 6-5. Man, assuming moves forward from a 2-year-old crop is always dangerous, and I think Saturday will be no different.
Yeah, Barry, what'd you think?
I thought this was a pretty good card, for the first opening weekend.
Yeah. Especially a bunch of horses chasing money at Kentucky Downs. There's still a nice amount of horses that showed up for this Saturday for sure.
Yeah.
Some
whenever
some ones.
You still there, Barry? Did I lose you, buddy?
No, I'm here. You got me, I think.
All right. Yeah, no. I can hear you. What I was thinking here was that I was going to go through this card before the morning lines came out, handicap it. And sometimes when I do that, it ends up with just chalk on chalk on chalk. But I had some horses that's kind of surprised me with the prices that they were at. So I with everybody that this could get a little bit wild and this should be plenty of fun. Real quick, we got 25% off everything in the merch store. Promo code football. Make sure to check out the Notorious OTB page on our merch store. All right, we're gonna dive into it, and Louie, you're gonna be kicking it off today.
Five fingers in the face. Yeah, we're gonna start race one, man. We're gonna go straight after it. Speaking of 2-year-olds, we're in a maiden claimer here. We got a first timer in this one that I like for trainer stat purposes, and that is the 4 Fulminay, who I think will be longer than 4-1 here, or 8-1, excuse me. In this one, first timer out of the Crichton barn, and that is a very, very good angle for him. 30% of his most recent 20 runners have won on debut, and his 2-year-olds win at 32%. So we are going to go ahead and try this horse. I've learned from Barry Spears, look for the long gate works, look for the fast ones, and Fulminay fills all of those gaps for us in this one. If you look at the favorite on the inside, 5-2, that horse has never been better, I think, than about 10 lengths off of it. Was okay on debut at 5.5, getting back to a better distance, I do think, here at Ellis Park. But if we can beat a Cassie and a Jose Ortiz, we can get a nice payout. I'm going to try a double here, use the 4 in the first leg here, and use a couple of more likely types in the second, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Interesting in here because I do think there's a spot for St. Albans Raid in the second race here. Adam Beschizza, who had a sneaky good Kentucky Downs and has been very good at Horseshoe Indianapolis, in to ride this one, which won last out at the 16 level at Ellis Park. But before that, won in a maiden 10. So we're kind of slowly moving up the ranks here from 10 to 16 to 20 in this spot. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Matt Shire barn to go ahead and go and do that. But I also get some coverage with Tyler, and with Jose Ortiz as well as part of the second leg of that $5 double with 4 horses in the second leg. So 4 in the first race, 2, 4, 5, 6 in the second race here. I think we'll get a nice payout there.
There we go. You're adopting a strategy that I love to do, which is I like to step on necks early, Louie. I like to get in the mix, get up, and just go ahead and put this thing away.
See, I like to disagree with Louie early and say that Fulminay will probably be second choice.
Okay. All right. Hope you're wrong.
You know what? Louis
No, you know why? You know why I say that is because of the fact that this horse has some gaudy, or not the horse, the trainer has some gaudy stats with first timers, and I think people are gonna take a lot of note to that, especially in this race because there's no Brad Cox, there's no Pletcher, there's no, you know what I mean? Cassie doesn't really intimidate people like that, especially after his horses have run already. Same thing with Steve Asmussen. So that, to me, that would leave a horse like the 4 in a spot to get bet a lot.
Now, I have good news for everyone out there who want to play all day, which I think we've actually touched every single race on this 11 race card, because I kick it off here in race 3, 7 furlongs, $50,000. Non-winners of 2, lifetime claiming on the dirt. I'm going to be playing a $10 win. And this was a big surprise to me. The number 7, Split Success, at 10-1. Trying to step on next, trying to get to the win pool with what feels like a low risk, high reward sort of play. When I look at this pace, it looks like it could get fairly swift up front due to the fact that you have a few horses that all aren't a whole lot faster than any of the other horses that want the front. So Split Success should be sitting about 2.5 off the pace and have a good stalking position behind the speed of the 4 Atara at 3-1, the number 9 Princess Nye at 12-1, and the 10 Volatile Market at 4-1. All 3 of them look like quit without the lead horses, and when you put 3 of that type together in the race, things break down. Split Success is facing winners for the first time following being claimed in a $30,000 main optional claimer at Ellis and landing in the William Cowan's barn. This horse took a huge step forward in that race last out at Ellis Park, where he kind of sat chilly and made the middle move to get into contention. Plus, there's a dirty little pig boy angle at play here.
Little pig boy.
Can I get the definition?
Little pig boy. He's that pathetic, dirty bitch baby mistress gets to stand on.
Because we've got a horse that has been working on synthetic moving to a different surface. It might pop here in that sneaky angle. The most recent workout was a sharp 47.4 at Turfway. That was the second fastest 4 furlong work on that day. This horse has improved in each start since the debut, an improvement of the same magnitude. Hey, by the way, remember where you were when a magnitude 43-1 earthquake hit New Orleans? I do. But anyway, a step forward of that same magnitude where she improved her buyer by 20 points would make this one an easy winner. Am I expecting a 20-point jump? No, but any jump is going to make this horse competitive. So that's my play in race 3. The 7 split success to start it off. Barry, you also started it off in race 3 with the daily double here. What are you doing in this first leg?
Yeah, in the first leg, I zeroed in on a horse who I think has a pretty good shot. The third race is what I'd like to refer to as a clue race. Basically, it's a bunch of horses that are coming from different places and nobody knows what they want to do.
That's clever. I like that.
It's a lot of that going on, and especially with the horse that I picked, the 6, Are Pretty Kitty. This horse is, won on debut, ran a really good race actually on debut. Then they went long, ran okay. Went long on the synthetic, ran worse, in my opinion, and went to Kentucky Downs and tried the turf, which they really didn't want to. The horse didn't want to do that. The horse didn't want to go long on the synthetic either. I think they're finally getting back to what this horse really wants to do, is sprinting on the dirt, gets Ired back. I think that says a lot in this spot, especially for Safi. He doesn't really ride for Safi too much outside of the winter meet, but he gets on this one. The pace scenario should set up well for this horse. Shouldn't be too far off it. Irad's probably the best in the business. I think he's got a good shot to win this one.
There we go. You roll it into race 4, $30,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime, going a mile. How are you closing out your daily double, and are you pressing that opinion here?
Yeah, of course we are. But this is another clue race, by the way. It's the non-winners of 2 30,000, and I used 3 horses in this race because I think this race is kind of wide open. We're going to use the 6 Good Money, who gets blinkers off for Ben Colebrook, who should have this horse right off the claim. Showed some speed last time, first off the claim, going longer. I think this horse fits in this spot at this 1-turn mile, so I like that. The 7 Army Hero we're going to use. Definitely needed the last race. Drops back in for 30,000 rather than 50. Should make all the difference. Probably will be forwardly placed. The place to be in a spot like this with Abel Cedillo. I think the connections here are flying under the radar, so we're probably going to get a nice price on Army Hero. And then we're also going to use the 10. Are You Looking for Ray Ray? This horse was kind of out of sorts since winning the maiden at Churchill back in November of 2024. Didn't run all that poorly, funny enough, in races that this horse had no business probably being in at all. Got back to Ellis on the turf and ran a much improved race actually on the turf in a spot where I don't believe they really thought they were going to do anything. I think this one was probably more of a logical spot in a placement for this horse. 15-1 is a great price, has a lot of upside on Are You Looking for Ray Ray? So we're going to use the 6, 7, and 10 to the hoop.
I love Duncan, guy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? I love it.
There we
What's
go.
what's the feeling around the country? I really want to know, because I know how people are talking about it here in Kentucky. But I read announcing until he goes to the championship meet at Gulfstream, he's going to be in Kentucky. Any reaction from people around the country? Any surprise at all? He's going to be at Churchill for 2 meets?
No, not because, I mean, the money makes sense because Churchill runs for good purses.
All right, so follow-up question. Jose Ortiz got a place here. Does he let his brother stay, or is he like, hey, bum, I'm up against you. Go find somewhere else to stay? Real question.
Nah, he knows Irad's going to ship out of town once the New Year's is upon us. But they are all kind of do that a little bit because, the championship meet opens up Florida.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get down South
New
Florida.
Orleans, Fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
Oakland and all that kind of stuff. So there's this window from, at Churchill from now and then in November that they may kind of bump heads a little bit.
All right, guys. Well, Barry's got a play in the very next race, race 5. But real quick, got to get a word in from our good friends at mybookie.ag. That's right. We are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus of up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Also got to get a word in from the good nerds at Rhythm because the NFL is back on Rhythm. Last season, Rhythm was 76-66 against the spread and 22-19 on over-unders. It really shined on player props, including 15-8 on Josh Allen passing props for a 23% ROI. Rhythm has all MLB, WNBA, golf, and college football, and Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you can build, and you can win up to $1,000. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. If you excuse me, I need to get a brief rehydration interlude in.
You want to see me kick some ass? I do fucking karate. You want to fucking
Whoa. You know karate?
Yeah, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. Barry, you've got a daily double here starting race 5. We're talking $120,000 maiden special weight, 6 furlongs. I believe you got a win bet here also. What are you doing in this race?
Yeah, we got a win bet and a daily double out of this race. So the win bet, we're going with number 5, Bon Sante, who actually scratched out of a race today. He was an AE on a turf race today and scratched out of that one in favor of this one. Horse has some really good works. The ones that stick out to me is August 8th, 5 furlongs, 1 minute and 2 breezing from the gate. And the one right after that, August 16th, 4 furlongs, 48 flat breezing from the gate at Churchill Downs, the site of this race. There's not really much to go on pedigree-wise. I just like this horse's works. Precociousness seems to be imminent. This horse has a bunch of fast works. There's one on July 5th, 46-3. A Bullet. I think this horse is ready. Well meant. Gets Louis Saez up. So the intent, I would think, is to go to the front.
Shout out to our guy, Don.
That's right. Don Chatlos, the man, the myth, the
so.
legend.
About that.
Singletary.
Bon Santé just means a good health in French. So keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
I need good health.
Very good French fact from our friend Louie Rabaut right there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Barry, did you have anyone
Also,
else in race
pick,
5?
by the way, I don't have this race, Barry, I couldn't put together, but I like that take because I feel very strongly about the pick 3 coming up here. So I might try a little 5 single to start off that pick 4. I think that's
there
a
you
good
go.
point.
Yeah, and then we're doing a double out of this race too. So
Cool.
we're going to use Bon Sante and Take a Bow for Cherie DeVoe. Another one with some good works. A nice one, September 2nd at Ellis, 48-1, Hanley from the gate, 5 out of 39. A Bullet before that at Ellis, and another nice 4 furlong work. I know Cherie gets really good horses.
Yes.
I don't think this one is an exception. Paper on paper, those two look like the 2 best to me. So we're going to take the 5 and the 6 in the double.
There you go. We roll it in to race 6. The first big race on the card, 8 furlongs, $300,000. The grade 3 Pocahontas, the first Kentucky Oaks points are up for grabs. Barry, how are they going to grab it in your daily double?
They're going to grab it with number 2, Miscomplicated. These are young 2-year-old horses, a lot of them going long for the first time, some of them for the second time, but horses tend to go fast early and really slow down late. So if you can find a horse that can pass others, they're probably the ones you want to go with. Miscomplicated for me is that horse. Got off slowly last time, passed a whole bunch of horses really, really fast. I know this horse burned money the first 2 times out and still a maiden, but I think the stretch out makes a lot of sense. The post position is very favorable. and I think they're going to do it. So we're going to close out our double with number 2, Miscomplicated, in race 6 in the Pocahontas.
Oh, wow.
Well, Barry, I know Louie's got a pick 3 starting here, but I've got a win bet in this exact same race. I've got a $20 win on the number 7, Embrace the Moment, at 5-1. This is going to be my strongest win bet on the card. And first of what I hope is a Greg Compton double in the Pocahontas and Iroquois. More on that later. Greg Compton has had Embrace the Moment stashed at Delaware Park, where she broke her maiden going 6 furlongs. Been putting up bullet works going 5 furlongs. And I think that Compton has the screws tightened on this one and should be speed of speed. And I think you have to take the speed of speed in this spot, unlike Barry, I guess, because the rest of the horses outside of the 3 that will be vying for the lead are horses that are going to be running from off the pace and haven't shown a whole ton of ability passing other horses to win. So this thing, could it go nuclear and melt down? Possibly, but I think it's more than likely that a horse like Embrace the Moment gets a winning trip on the front. With the price at a generous 5-1, I think it's an easy decision to pull the trigger here with Embrace the Moment. Now, Louie, as I alluded to, you've got a pick 3 starting in this race. You got the Greg Compton horse?
I don't. And this is where I'm just being a little different here, and I'm trusting someone, and I'm going to try to trust Kenny McPeak in this spot. I'm going to take his 2 runners in this one. Both of them winners on debut. One of them gets IRAD. That's taken by the win. The 3 here was meant for a turf race at Saratoga, and she went ahead and won that thing against 6 other runners. And she did it under Chris Elliott, and she passed 3 other horses to do it. A good enough break, frankly, for being on debut, and then went ahead and passed a bunch of runners at 7 furlongs. We only need to stretch out a furlong further here, and we're not doing the 1.5 turn thing that we would have to do at Saratoga. So I think she's going to be in really good shape here. It's an interesting one and a sire to watch as we move forward, guys. This is that first 2-year-old crop for Rock Your World, who won the Santa Anita Derby that was up the track in the Kentucky Derby. Only a $5,000 stud fee here, but this is a son of Candy Ride. Those Candy Rides, we see them do a bit of everything. And this one was in a maiden optional at the 75 level, but I do think we'll be able to move through. The best angle, not even close, for Kenny McPeak is that his horses who won last time out win again. And that is something he does at 19%. He does everything else right at the 15, 16 range. So we're talking about a big step in that direction. That's 20% better or so, just with horses that won already. The other one, of course, is our 2 girls, Brian Hernandez Jr., the 2 of them, of course, with the Torpedo Anna connection in this one. One on debut at Ellis Park, and was another one that passed several horses to do it. And frankly, if you go back and watch this race at the beginning of August, she had to go between horses, and on debut, that's always impressive to me. So I'll use the 2 Kenny McPeak horses here. I get Irad, I get Brian. I think I'm largely covered. The one that I cannot figure out in here, guys, and I'd love your opinion on it, is Brittany Russell's runner here in Dazzling Dame, 2-1 on the line. But 1:40 for a mile is not fast. And I expect the winner of this race to win in like 1:36.2. Do we chalk that up to like a 2-turn sort of thing, Barry? What do you think? I can't bet her at 2-1. That's all, I guess.
Yeah, that's tough to take at 2-1.
Yeah.
But the pace was just supersonic slow, and that's why the horse won like that. I think personally, I think this pace is going to get hot up front, because Dazzling Dame will certainly not want anybody too far in front of them, if at all. Yeah. And then I think our 2 girls on the stretch will be forwardly placed, and you'll probably get a little push from Miscomplicated sitting right behind them. But Taken by the Wind is the horse that really interested me a little, only because of the fact that this horse kind of, I think, surprised them and won on the dirt.
I agree.
They really weren't expecting that, but it could go either way. I would just want to get a price on a horse like that, and I don't know if you're going to get it. That's why I went single to 2.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you think Taken by the Wind, 5-1 morning line, and Miscomplicated 7-2 will swap spots by the time we get to the gate as far as betting?
Yep.
Okay, I agree.
Connections will dictate that.
I agree. And that's why, Barry, I was excited about your take on the previous race, because if I do like Taken by the Wind, I have a better chance of getting a good price on it in the pick 4 than I do at the outset of the pick 3, right? I just do, right? And so I appreciate that a lot, frankly. But yeah, so those 2 in the first leg here. I'm going to get really aggressive in the next one.
There we go. It's race 7, 8.5 furlongs. The Locust Grove $400,000, a grade 2. What are you doing in the hump day leg of your pick 3, Louie?
Yeah, it's not the best grade 2 I've ever seen. I want to be very clear. But going back and forth, Alpine Princess, of course, lost to Impel, who was shout out, by the way. We need to do this.
Yeah.
Last time
right.
the three of us were together, I think Josh Rodriguez was on the show as well, but it's better that he's not on this one. Our guy Chase was like, I'm singling Impel and we're going for it.
Yep.
And there was a group chat behind
the scenes.
There was a group chat making fun of you, Chase. I need you to know that. Okay. And there was one wondering if Impel was going to get it done at Ellis Park. And you know what she did? She smacked that booty. She did the damn thing. That's right. And so our guy Chase was all over that. But man, I mean, how good is Impel here? And are we really riding an Alpine Princess who couldn't keep up with her? Her best win is in the Greg Memorial at Horseshoe, Indianapolis on the undercard of the Indiana Oaks. Gimme Royal Spa, who's been running in major company, does have a win in the Shawnee at the distance over this course. Came up short in the fleur-de-lis to Torpedo Anna. Let's be very clear, though, about that. She beat the next best horse in Taxed by 4.5 lengths. I think she's just the class here. I know it's boring. I know it's going to eat into my profits, which is why even in this exercise, I'm playing the pick 3 for $5 base because I do want it to, if we're going to do this, we're going to hit it 10 times rather than just hitting it once with Royal Spa. I just think, and look, it's been an interesting development too. These Violence babies, they don't want to go 10 furlongs, let's be clear. But, man, they're okay going about a mile and a 16th, and I think she'll do it again here. So I'll look for Tyler to give her the proper ride here for Rudy Brisset, who thought enough of her to ship her out for that Hirsch. We talked about her ahead of that race with Hector Barrios, Barry, on SoCal Saturdays. But I think getting back to Churchill, being at home, I think she'll show up just fine.
There we go. Well, we're going to do a little time travel thing because I have a daily double starting here, but I'm going to let you finish up your pick 3 here, Louie, in race 8. The 8 furlongs, the meat of the card, that $300,000 Iroquois grade 3 Kentucky Derby points on the line. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going to throw Comport into the ticket, but I don't think Comport is the obvious winner here. I think Comport probably wins this race about a quarter of the time. And so I want to be able to hit this ticket. So I'm going to include the 7 in Comport, who was very good in the juvenile at Ellis Park. I won't pretend. That was a race last year that was very predictive. We got very good horses out of it. And so I'm not arguing with the pedigree of the Ellis Park juvenile at all. I also like that the horse has already gone 7. It was very comfortable doing so. I don't expect the mile to be a problem for Comport at all. Here's my thing. Horse lost to Romeo, bro. And like, and so I just, at some point, is this at every other type where he's going to run second in this race? I don't know. I think there's a real chance. I just did a preview of this card with our mutual friend, Dan Issel, Barry. And, he really likes Boast in this spot, the 8 horse for Will Walden. I like the one next to it in the 9 ball, who Jaime Torres is going to keep them out here for Riley Mott. And this is one that went 5.5 at Ellis on debut. And if you look at that most recent work from the gate, super fast at Churchill. And so this is a son of Code of Honor and just not a royally bred horse, but showed a ton on debut. If you look at those splits, they're incredibly fast. And in these 2-year-old races, we tend to get these sorts of manic paces up front. I think he's going to get all of that. And so I think he's going to have something to run at. I think he's really going to like that. Riley Mott's turning into something here, man. We got 12% wins on graded stakes. We're getting a decent ROI on those. And so that's one to watch for sure. And the other horse I'm throwing in is the 4 horse here. So special. Another McPeak and Hernandez. And speaking of good angles for Kenny McPeak, his turf to dirt is exceptional. Just unbelievable, frankly. So this one started on the turf. A daughter of Vacoma. Now we see that Candy ride in the Vacomas, of course, which means they can kind of do whatever. Right. We see the Candy rides winning Kentucky Downs. We see him winning at Saratoga, whatever. I think this one is not an accident by Kenny McPeak to throw this one in to find out what they have. Now, on the other side of that argument is, hey, it's Kenny McPeak. He's willing to just take chances. I mentioned that SoCal Saturday show that Barry and I do. That's how we feel about Doug O'Neill out west, right? West of the Rockies, it's Doug O'Neill. Why not us? Go for it sort of thing. Kenny McPeak's got some of that in him, and thank God he does. Because, of course, the coach ain't with us anymore, and he had a bunch of that in him, of course, and was one of the very best things about him. I think Kenny ain't doing this one by accident. I'll take Brian Hernandez Jr. at Churchill. And so my pick 3, just so we have it on record here, starts in race 6, the 3 and the 5 in race 1, the 3 single in the second leg, and then 4, 7, 9 in the Iroquois.
There we go. Louie, I ran into Kenny McPeak at Oaklawn back in what was it, March, and I asked him if he would be interested.
He's a pretty stout guy.
He's very stout. I asked him if he'd be interested in doing the show, and he asked me how many listeners we have. And the answer I gave Kenny McPeak was not enough for Kenny McPeak to want to do the show. Don't worry, we'll get there. We'll figure it out. All right, so we're gonna travel back in time to race 7.
Barry, was that like a challenge for me to book Kenny McPeak in the next 10 days? Is that what that was?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
If you want to take it that way, I say go for it. Get Kenny on. Tell him my tattoo is better too.
Well, that's actually yes. Keep going. Yes.
So back in the Locust Grove Stakes, I thought that you had your most likely winner on this card in this race in the form of Lone Early Speed that I think could take this race gate to wire, and it's going to be the 3 Royal Spa. We agree on this wholeheartedly.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
So I'm sure, Chase, you have more to this, but there's another horse in this race that I think is really interesting. If someone wanted to play a cold exacta here, I think the one Regaled coming out of that Groupie Doll now in the Whit Beckman barn, based in Kentucky here. That one is, if Joe Ramos, jockey Joe Ramos, can get that horse out of the gate better than last time, keep her in the 3-4 pass, something like that. I think she's got a lot of really good late kick and can be part of the equation at the end of this race, especially over the mile and a 16th, over that second turn. If you're looking for a horse, spice up the Exacta, 3-1 might be the play there.
So I'm taking my life into my own hands here because the reason I say that is that I've never actually seen a Rudy Brissett horse win a race. I know he wins races and is a decent trainer. I just don't think I've ever seen one of his victories with my own eyes. And Rudy Brissett winner, it's probably kind of like seeing Bigfoot in the wild. I know he exists, but I've never seen him. And by the way, I got a quick message for Bigfoot. We're closing in on you, you stinky bastard. But the handicap is simple here. Royal Spa goes and no one can cruise the same high speed. And the rest of the field just watches them get smaller as she gets further away from them. And since this is a chalky pick, the first thing I like to do is look for who can finish second. I thought that Alpine Spirit?
Princess.
Alpine Princess, that's right. Alpine Princess looked to me like probably the most likely winner. Most likely second place finisher. And I didn't really see much value in playing that. So I stretched it into the double, into race 8, the Iroquois. And I'll go deeper into these plays whenever we talk about race 8 specifically, but I'm going to be using 2 horses that round out my double and win. I'm using the 1 Nothing Personal at 8-1, and I'm going to be using the 7 Comport at 6-5. I know I shouldn't have that one on the ticket, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Barry, you've got a win bet here in race 8 as well. What are you doing with your win bet?
Ooh, you're good.
Yeah, this race is very interesting to me. Typically, as you know, and everybody else, I would think at this point, understands and knows that I don't really like horses on the rail.
I know this about you.
When things align the right way, and when I say that, usually it's the price, I can pick a horse on the rail, and I'm going to do that in race 8. In the Iroquois, I'm going with Nothing Personal, the 1 horse. This horse ran a really good race first time out at Colonial. One going away by 8. And, you know, when horses win by, let's say, 8 to 10 lengths or more, it really kind of stamps themselves as a talent, especially this early and then coming into this race where, you know, all these horses have potential, but nobody's really solidified. This horse ran a pretty decent race. The Dan Issel's horse, Vost, seems okay in this spot. I'm just not sure what kind of race you're going to get out of that horse, especially since they got off slowly last time. I don't know if they're going to try to go for the lead or not, but I do know that Nothing Personal is probably going to sit a decent trip. And that's really all you want in races like this, is to be in contention. I definitely don't want nothing personal on the engine, because in these races, like I explained before in the Phillies race, they slow down and they stop. Horses get past, and you'll see the stagger fest coming home late. I just want nothing personal to be staggering a little bit faster than everybody else.
You know what's interesting about nothing personal? The dam sire Wando won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
I remember.
So if you want a
Canadian horse, I believe.
He's an Ontario bred. That's exactly right. Won at Arlington Park. And so if you want a horse that was good at 2 years old, the dam sire in this case from Nothing Personal, Wando, that was 2003 Arlington Park, something like that. But yeah, there you go.
Sounds
there
right.
you go. By the way, shout out to Barry's mama, Brooksy, who is joining us on Instagram right now.
Can I make my phone call? Do I have rights? Can I make my phone call?
Hey, Mom, what's up, Mom?
Huh? Who you gonna call? Yo, mama.
All right, real quick before we jump back into it, got to get a word in from our good friends at Underdog, because Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player's stats. It's available for a ton of sports. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up. SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. And Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 when you use your promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. And if you excuse me, I need to get yet another rehydration interlude in.
Leave the camels alone. What are we doing here?
Yeah, the camel is obviously having a time right there. So leave the camel alone. All right.
By the way, Underdog is awesome. I'm glad they're working with you guys, because that's a spectacular app. I love that app. It's great.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Just off the cuff sort of recommendation from our boy Louie. All right, race 8. I'm pressing some opinions here because Barry, I agree with you on this, on the #1. Nothing personal. I've got a $10 win here,
yes, sir,
at 8-1. I'm going to press it even further though, and I'm going to play an exotic bet that rivals my dancing for exoticness, and I'm going to spread out with a trifecta that will further press my opinion with the part wheel structure. With Nothing Personal, I mean, I'm hoping this is the second leg of what I'm hoping is a Greg Compton Pocahontas Iroquois double. And this is another horse that Compton had stashed outside of Kentucky with Nothing Personal's maiden breaking win that showed some real maturity, stalking the early pace 2.5 lengths back at the first call, and then made that middle move and poured it on, winning by 8 3/4. I love seeing the regular work pattern. They've all been 5 furlong works, which Louis, it's Barry has influenced our mapping since we've been doing shows with him, because I see those 5 furlong workouts now. I'm like, yes, this is it. This is what he's been talking about.
I have information.
So in the trifecta, I'm going to play a part wheel structure. I'm still going to utilize a 7 comport on top with Nothing Personal 1-7. And then I'm going to wheel into second the #5 Spice Runner for Steve Asmussen. So that's going to make the second part 1-5-7. Then in third, I'm going to use every horse I consider to be in consideration to hit the board, along with my 3 horses I mentioned. So in third, it will be 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I spread that wide in the third for 2 reasons. The first is that I think they all have a chance to get into the minors at least. And the second reason is I'm weird about things ending in a multiple of 5. And that made it $10 for my 50-cent trifecta. So that was a $10 win on the #1, Nothing Personal. Then a 50-cent try, 1-7 with 1-5-7 with 1-3, 4-5, 7, 8, 9. We roll it in. Speaking of 9s, 2 race 9, 6.5 furlongs, $300,000. The Open Mind Stakes. Louis, you've got to play here in race 9. What do you got?
My long shot play of the day is the 5 Minx Pallison here, winner over this course here in the Roxalana under Louis Saez. Before that, under Louis Saez, won at 6 furlongs at Churchill Downs. Before that, won under Louis Saez at Churchill Downs over 6 furlongs in a maiden race. So every time Louis is up for this horse, the one at the bottom there, Chase, if you wanted to find it, is the maiden race in the PPs there, my friend. From late in 2023 as a 2-year-old. Obviously, they tried her at a bunch of different spots last year before settling on this route as a 4-year-old. Daughter Palace Malice, who was a personal favorite, but that has nothing to do with this. I just think this horse showed enough last out in the bridges there at Ellis Park. Yes, in the slop. We get back to better conditions here. Look, there's no Vava in here, right? That kind of thing. And we get Louis Saez. I think that's a big change here. So I'm going to play a win place bet here, 20 and 20. So my biggest bet of the day is $40 on Miggs Palace, total 20 and 20 on this horse. I think she's got a spectacular chance. And this is the exact kind of race, Barry, that we've watched Louis Saez pick off the last 2 years at Churchill Downs.
Are you going to purchase something that is made out of mink if Mink's Palace wins with your $20 win place?
I don't think that's enough money there to buy mink. But that's I also have never purchased anything made of mink. So I'm making assumptions that I probably shouldn't make.
I think a nice like mink hat might be the way to go.
Maybe
and also
the Breeders' Cup. There you go. Yeah, right.
Take the middleman out of it, Louis. Just go and club your own mink.
Get it done. Go club a mink.
There you go. Barry, you've also got a win bet here in race 9. Are you thinking the same thing as Louis?
Oh boy.
He's still there. I see him moving. There he is.
He's gonna poop on my opinion.
Barry. I don't know what's happening right now. All right. While Barry's getting sorted out, I've got to play here starting in race 9. I was a basic bitch handicapper a little bit, but I'm slamming a $15 Exacta 3 with the 2-4. What I saw in this race was a horse that should be sitting behind, I think is weak-hearted Lone Early Speed in the number 1 Gray Lightning. And this horse is just in the wrong company. I don't think is capable of holding on to this race in the front. So I'm electing to key the number 3 Little Prankster 7-2 on top in Exacta because this is the horse that should have first run at that speed. And the other 2 horses I have underneath will be launching from further back in the race shape. It will leave themselves too much to do late trying to close into a fairly slow pace. The 2 horses I'm adding underneath are going to be your top 2 choices on the morning line. So along with Little Prankster, I'm going to be using the 2 taxed. Oh, Barry disappeared. As well as the 4 Positano Sunset. I just thought that I call them hood ornaments, Louis. Horses that get out on the front end are just purely ornamental. Don't really serve any function other than just being out there. And so I think that horse is going to come back to Little Prankster, who's going to be able to kind of pounce late. Yeah, so that's my Exacta 3 with the 2-4. I believe I'll have to look it up. I think Barry was with you on Mink's Palace in this leg. But we'll confirm that whenever we go through the rest of our picks. All right. We've done it. We've made it to the final leg. And we have withheld our best morsels of picks to get you out of the door with a little bit of profit in your pocket. That's right. It's time for bailout bets. We're going to race 11, 6 furlongs, $120,000 maiden special weight. You actually saved some of your bankroll for this last one, Louis. What are you doing here in race 11?
I did. I got $10 left, man. I'm going to lean on the 2 here in Barker. Quick turnaround for trainer Chris Davis here. But maiden second starts for him. Positive ROI 207, but also at 17%. And he hits at 22% generally in maiden special weights. He and Jose Ortiz 41% recently at Churchill, 38% overall in their jockey trainer numbers together. Chris Davis, a guy that we know here locally on our circuit, almost certainly not a national name, but if you watch Churchill, Ellis, etc., of course, Turfway Park, you'll be seeing him quite a bit. So I'll throw $10 on Barker to close the card here. Coming out of Kentucky Downs, was okay at the start of that thing and then got to the top of that turn there and just didn't like the course. I'm not holding that against a single horse that comes out of Kentucky Downs. So give me the Jose Ortiz ridden Barker 6-1 in the bailout race, $10 to win.
There you go. Barry is back. Barry, I just want to confirm that your win bet for race 9, was that also on Mink's Palace?
You're damn right it is.
Yeah, there we go. That's it goes back to attitude. I like it.
Mink's Palace 4 for 8 at Churchill. I think that says it all. Louis Saez being aboard tells you the intent to have this horse aggressively ridden early to get in position, and I like it. 8-1. I would gather we probably won't get 8-1, but I'll take 4.
Oh, I think we'll get 5 or 6 to 1, just based on buyers. And the buyer, by the way, this horse,
Nah, this horse gonna get bet.
Roxalana with an 85 buyer. I mean, that doesn't line up at all. This horse was flying in the Roxalana early in Derby week. Yeah, I think she's set up really well here.
Yeah, she's gonna get bet because of the fact that Tax hasn't won or doesn't win often, and then Little Prankster hasn't really run at that level. Yeah, so I would think that they might get bet a little. Hopefully, like I said, I'm optimistic. I'm hoping for like 5 to 1 ish, but it seems like this horse might even go like second or third choice. But we'll see.
All right.
Never know.
There we go. Just a minor backtrack. We're back to race 11 though. Barry, I'll give you a break from speaking because I've got a completely different horse than Louie. I just kind of leaned on some of my favorite angles that I like with maidens, and I'm going to use the horse that answers the question of what's different today. It's the number 5, New What's New, who got the ultimate equipment change, being gelded after the last out race. And New What's New has what I like to see after a horse has been gelded, which is what looks like a more consistent focus work tab.
Work tab. Sorry. I thought you were talking about what you wanted to see was no balls. Yeah, that's usually what happens after gelding.
Yeah. Oh, seeing that focus works, usually gives me the green light to go ahead and fire on a first time or second time or third time starter even. All right, Barry, you are on to your bailout. What are you doing, Sheer?
I think Louis was copying my paper in math class because I am also on number 2 Barker.
Oh, I'm surprised by that actually. Okay.
I like Barker actually quite a bit in this spot.
I agree.
Ran pretty good first time out at Kentucky Downs. I think they just tried it primarily to see if they can just grab a purse. Swirling Eights came out of that race and won yesterday pretty easily. I like the bullet work on August 20th, even if it is on the synthetic, which ends up being a dirty little pig boy angle, right?
It is.
Turf the dirt with a synthetic workout. How about that?
Dirtiest.
Little pig boy comes from the dirt. He's a weaselly little mud grub who needs to be stood on. Little pig boy.
Those high heel boots would stand all over me with that angle.
Yeah, and these Jose and Chris Davis hook up, it's usually a victory. So I'm going to try to bail out with number 2 Barker, race 11.
Something to watch here is the AE list in that race. By the way, if the 13 does draw in, you're out of your mind to miss on that one. So really good on debut at Saratoga. Should be very live on Saturday.
Yeah, he's referring to 13 Sabito for Bill Mott with they got Jose named, I guess, in case this one draws in. But yeah, that does look like a very strong horse if that one makes the field.
Yep.
Guys, we've done it. We've gone from, like I say, from the rooter to the tutor. We've literally hit every single race and gone from the rooter to the tutor on this show. And Barry, how do you feel about wrapping up picks?
It's a must, I think.
Yep. Since I've been told I yell it's mandatory way too loud, I'm just going to say is mandatory. Go ahead, Barry. Go ahead, wrap them up for us.
Ooh. Yeah, we're going to start it off with a $10 daily double. Number 6, Our Pretty Kitty with good money. Number 6, the 7, Army Hero, and the 10, Are You Looking for Ray Ray in race 4. Race 5, $20 win bet on number 5, Bonsante. Also a $10 daily double, Bonsante the 5 with number 6, Take a Bow, with number 2, Miscomplicated in race 6. Race 8, $15 to win on number 1, Nothing Personal. Race 9, $15 to win on Minx Palace. Bailout, number 2, Barker to the hoop. Stand in line because all these bets are winning, by the way.
Stand in line.
That's right. Stand in line.
No regular Whitey pay me.
That's right.
Until Whitey pays you. All right, Louie, go ahead, wrap him up for us, buddy.
Start right away. Opener, little daily double, $5 to start the card. I'm going single in the first race with the 4. Then we'll try the 2, 4, 5, and 6 in the second race. A little bit of coverage in that one. I think if that 4 can get through race 1, we're sitting on some nice pays, especially at the $5 kind of level. Play a $5 pick 3, costs you about $20 to play that one. here in this in race 6. Or was that $30? I'm so sorry, Chase. That was $30 to play this pick 3 here. 3 and 5 in race 6, which is the Pocahontas, of course. Single in the 3 in the Locust Grove, then 4, 7, and 9. I'll try those. In the Iroquois itself, race 9, I'll go ahead and try the 5 Minx Palace win place at $20. So that's a $40 play there. Bailout in the last if the 13 doesn't draw it, especially Jose aboard on the 2 horse. I'll put $10 on that one.
There we go. And what I've got working for Saturday, the Churchill Downs, $100 budget, race 3, $10 to win on number 7. Race 6, we're going with a $20 win on the 7. Race 7, the $10 daily double, 3 with the 1-7. Man, I've got a lot of 7s going.
What y'all know about 7? Pay me.
Unbelievably underrated episode of that show. I mean, just unbelievable how good that skit is. It's insane.
Dude, plus Bill Burr with a full head of hair also.
There's so many good things about that. It's just what you know about this. 7. Oh, good, dude. Oh, all right.
Well, hopefully, what a win here. What I'll do with the money is buy my mama a house and spend the rest on PCP. Race 8, I've got a $10 win on the 1.
Classic, my friend, there you go.
That's right. And then I'm playing the $50 trifecta, 50 cent trifecta, 1-7 with 1-5-7 with 1-3-4, 5-7-8-9. And I'm closing it out in race 9 with the $15 exacta, 3 with the 2-4 bailout, the number 5 in the last race. Knew what's new. Guys, we've done it. We've managed to make it all the way through an entire just stellar Churchill Downs card. What's everyone got on deck for the rest of the day?
Thursday. My kid played soccer yesterday. Man, I think I'm good. I think I got prep. I got 3 shows tomorrow, but that's work. That's normal. I don't know. I'm good, man.
What about you?
I went to my kid's high school open house last night. That's how old I am. How about that? I mean, Barry's got a kid. He's much older. Yeah, you know,
old. You're old. Ooh.
I agree that I'm old. I agree.
Ooh.
You ever have a night though, like you don't know because you've never been, you haven't met the teachers, and then you go and you're like, these people are good. I like these people. All right, they're teaching my kid. All right, let's go. It was a nice moment actually. It was a nice night. That was good. There you go.
One thing I always do because my kids are in elementary school is I demand of each teacher that I get a hand turkey whenever Thanksgiving rolls around. Like I need you to go ahead. I'm going to need my kid to trace its palm and then color it like it is a turkey. That's important to me. All right,
that's the
guys.
Top 5 most American thing available, I think, is the trace turkey hand.
It is. That is true. Or macaroni art.
Yeah,
macaroni art also.
Good stuff.
One year I was tasked with making the macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving. And what I did was I covered the top with paprika, but I held my hand over it. So I had like a photo negative turkey on top of the macaroni and cheese. Yeah, no big deal. I'm kind of gross when I cook. That's on me. That's my thing. All right, guys. Louie, you mentioned you got a few shows coming up. Why don't you go ahead and let folks know where they can find you?
Yeah, you mentioned ESPN Louisville. We've seen really nice streaming numbers on Friday mornings, 10:20 Eastern time. I always do a horse racing segment. It's always around the country. If it's California, New York, Kentucky this week, of course, Kevin Kilroy will join me from Churchill Downs tomorrow ahead of the same stakes that we talked about here. Get his opinions on those. And of course, every Friday you can catch me and Barry on SoCal Saturdays presented by our friends over at Amwager.
There we go. Guys, that's it. We've done the damn thing. We've gone through every single race. We've given you our best plays for $100 budget. I don't know what else you want from us. We've given you all of us at this point. So that's going to do it for us today at the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We'll be back tomorrow bright and early, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. God's time. We're going to be talking Backwaduck. That's right. Backwaduck is back. Belmont face with an aqueduct booty, as I like to say. We'll have our best bets that we don't just like, but we also put on our mamas. So we will see you then. Until then, we love you. Bye-bye. Well, I got to find a clip to ride out on.